Hey! Alright, today, one of my most asked questions is, what curriculum do you use? Which is a long-winded answer because since we are eclectic homeschoolers, that means I pick and choose curriculums. Now, the curriculums we use are ones that I've used now for a long time, and I'm very happy with the way they incrementally move forward. Not too fast, not too slow. It's easy to move ahead if something's easy. It's easy to spend time slowing down if it's a little tricky. So the curriculums that I use do that. So without further ado, our curriculums. If you've checked out the free Homeschool Quick Start Guide, you'll see on there a bunch of subjects that you can cover. We cover a handful of subjects, some of them, not all of them, and I'm going to show you what we use for those subjects. First, I need to kind of explain something before we move forward. If you've watched our 2-hour homeschool day video, you know we homeschool in 10-minute blocks and in 18-minute blocks. So today when I'm showing you curriculums, I'll be telling you whether they're a 10-minute subject that we do or an 18-minute subject that we do, so you can kind of correlate those. All right, let's get going. So first, for spelling, we do spelling for our kids starting in first grade. That doesn't mean that they don't spell like when they're doing writing, but we do actual spelling words and spelling tests beginning in first grade. The resource we use is superteacherworksheets.com, and they have their spelling lists listed out by grade. So my daughter's spelling folder will look like this, and then I go through, she's on spelling list C20, and I print out the spelling list as well as the practice papers that go with it, as well as the spelling test. All right, so I print out those, and I just print out a bunch at a time. I do not print out all of the sheets that they have. I just print out the ones that they like to use to practice, and they don't use a ton of them anymore. So then I just stack them every other. One spelling list a week with a spelling test on Friday. One of the 10-minute subjects that we do is handwriting. So for lower grades, this is going to be print, and for third grade and above, it's going to be cursive. And once we get past that and their handwriting is looking clean and legible, I'm not going to do handwriting anymore. But I like handwriting without tears for printing. You can find these on Amazon or even on the Handwriting Without Tears website. And then for cursive, I actually bought some things just off Amazon that I thought looked good. These 2 books. This one actually ended up being really small, but it still was good practice because it's horizontal. And then I also bought this one, cursive. All right, beginning cursive and beginning cursive handwriting for cursive. Another subject we do is typing. Our kids can start typing really at any age. And I like keyboarding without tears by handwriting without tears. So if you search keyboarding without tears, you'll find their program. Our kids have done well with it, and it's quick and fast and set it, forget it. Another 10-minute subject that we do are math facts. For the littles, this is addition and subtraction, and for the older kids, multiplication. I think math facts are severely underrated. You're going to get through life a whole lot more smoothly if you know your math facts. So maybe you decide to pull back on math a little bit because you have maybe a third grader who needs to work on their multiplication. Feel good about that. Feel good. This is like knowledge, right? This is stuff that needs to be in here fast. I'm all about multiplication. My math teacher brain is all about it. So learn these math facts. And we just bought these flashcards off Amazon, and then they practice them. We paperclip them together by the zeros, the ones, the twos, so that whatever they want to practice, they can practice. And these are one side, no answer, the other side, an answer. So sometimes they might just want to do a bunch where they're looking at the answers and just go 3 times 12 is 36, so on and so forth. Flashcards are great practice, 10 minutes a day, 4 days a week. get through these, and once they know these, this goes off the table. Okay, the other 10-minute a day subject my children do is piano. There are great apps for this. I don't use any of them because I also play piano, so they were doing lessons, but now we just do 10 minutes a day. We use Alfred's Music for Little Mozarts for, this would be like a pre-reader book. And then you also have Alfred's prep course. This would be like a reader book, someone that can read. Both of these, I grew up doing this course, and now they have this course. They are great. If like you even know a little piano, you could totally start your kids out doing these books. 10 minutes a day. My kids have been moving through these really steadily at 10 minutes a day. Okay, so for our 10-minute subjects, we have spelling, handwriting, typing, piano, math facts. 5 10-minute subjects, however you want to split those up. All right, on to the 18-minute subjects. We have 3 18-minute subjects in our family, and I'm going to show you the curriculums for each of them. For math, we use TEKS GoMath, and this year I also just bought GoMath. It's just the not Texas version. So these are by I don't know how to pronounce it, Houghton, Mifflin, Harcourt. And you can find these on their website. You can even find these on Amazon. I like the math because it has a lesson and it teaches whatever concept, and we'll go through the lesson, and then it has practice and homework, just one sheet front and back of that. So it might be like 3 to 4 pages of a lesson, a front and back homework, and if they're mastering the subject really well in the lesson, I'll just have them do every other problem on the homework. Let's like move forward, right? 18 minutes through this book, so if it's something that's taking a little longer and it's a section, no big deal. We're not rushing to get through the sections, we're just moving steadily forward. I really think I might like the TEKS GoMath better. I think they're almost the same, but I just like the coloring in here and the way it's laid out. TEKS GoMath is pretty much the same. Lesson, excuse that fly. Lesson, ooh, fly. Lesson, and then this orange sheet is homework front and back. They have this for all elementary school grades for sure, and they probably have older grades. TEKS GoMath, GoMath. That's what we use because this is what the school district around here was using when we took them out of school. So we just kept doing it because now I know what grade level they're at. All right, another 18-minute subject is writing. Writing, I don't use a curriculum. We just do all different writing pieces. If you want to look up like writing for certain grade levels, you can totally Google that. But basically, your children need to learn to write creative pieces, persuasive pieces, opinion pieces. They need to learn how to write a letter. They need to learn how to write something about like a personal narrative. So there's a lot of different things they can write on. For writing, just let them write. Get really good writers who are really good about getting their thoughts on paper. Don't worry about spelling. Don't worry about spelling. Okay, not on that. Worry about spelling on spelling. And on writing, worry about flow of thought. Can I get my thoughts out? Kids that are pressured to spell everything correctly are not going to write because they're too scared to be wrong. So writing is about getting thoughts out and communicating effectively, and spelling is separate, and then they eventually meld together and become one. You have writing that is spelled correctly. So for writing, you can pull sources off of Pinterest and look up writing prompts for 3rd graders, writing prompts for kindergartners, whatever you'd like. Kindergartners are going to probably write not 18 minutes a day. No, give them more time for reading. Older kids might need more than 18 minutes a day. So just like be flexible and see, does my child need more? Do they need less? Can they not focus that long? Let's narrow it down. Or maybe we do 10 minutes and 10 minutes. Flexibility. And then our last 18-minute subject is a rotating subject. So it rotates each day. One day it's language arts, another day it's science, another day it's social studies. So we're hitting those 3 subjects only once a week. And then our 4th day of homeschooling, the last 18 minutes is just extra time. Really, for elementary language arts, I Google what the TEKS are, TEKS, for their grade. and I just make sure I'm touching on those by usually searching for those things on Pinterest or on Teachers Pay Teachers. I did recently buy a language arts curriculum called Right on Track. And there's also a skills book that goes with that. I just liked, like, it has using the library, prefixes and suffixes, and it would be an easy book to just start at the beginning and just move through it. All right, I could just say, hey, we're going to spend 18 minutes working on this, writing a draft. So this also includes writing, because that's language arts and grammar. So I like that, and hopefully using this more this year. And yes, I would use this with all my kids of all ages. Now, if I just have a kindergartner, we might talk about it, but I'm not gonna like dig in. And then my older kids, I'm gonna expect more from. But it's all the same information. If you look at how education works, like we're gonna learn about prefixes probably starting in first grade. And then in second grade, we're still gonna learn about prefixes, but we're gonna learn about more of them. And then we're gonna learn prefix and suffixes. And then we're gonna keep adding into that. So everything just slowly builds. So it's okay to teach the same thing to all the grades because they're going to build. So just be like, okay, we're just going to touch on this. And then we'll do it again and we'll touch on that again. So this is good to also just see where your kids are at language arts wise. Graphic organizers. This looks like a really good curriculum. And then it has the skills book. It's not anything fancy, but helps them edit sentences, putting words in alphabetical order, putting the right word in the blank. I think this will be great for my older girls, and then for my first grader, we won't worry about this too much. He'll just get the language arts lesson, won't have to worry about like the worksheets. So for science, y'all are gonna like giggle a little bit, but my dog ate my science books. We use these Utterly Amazing series. We have 4 books. I don't know where the other 2 are. Maybe she ate them completely. We'll just pick one that we're gonna go through, spend 18 minutes on it or less, hit 1 page or maybe 2 pages and just read through it. This actually brings up a lot of questions for them, and then we'll end up like Googling stuff or they'll go searching things. This really like creates curiosity because it's not really a lesson. It's like, hey, let's read this together. Let's like, oh, I didn't realize that. There's things I learn all the time. This one is the body. This one is dinosaurs. Probably need to get, the insides are great, so I'm keeping these. Fun and engaging, and you're just touching on science. Just touching on it. If you look at elementary grades and what is supposed to be taught, it's literally touching on this, touching on that. Social studies, we've been doing places, Children's Amazing Places Encyclopedia. This is probably super old. I think I found it at a Goodwill. Sure did. Sure did. And we'll just pick a place and read about it. The Sahara. Read about this. Might find a YouTube video to go along with it. But I might not even plan that. I might just search it in front of them, look up videos on it. Or if I'm planning really far in advance, maybe I'll see if there's a magic school bus thing to go along with the science or with the social studies. So they have something engaging to do and fun. That's it. That's our curriculum. So here are some resources for you. And you're gonna think it's silly, but here we go. Pinterest. Reading for kindergartners, search for that. Search for writing prompts for 3rd graders. Another great resource is teacherspayteachers.com. And on there, if you're kind of wondering like, what should I be teaching my kid for what grade level? You can search grade level and you can search subject, and then you can search how much you'd like to pay. I usually click free, but I also have paid for some stuff that looks really good, and I'm supporting an educator. So Teachers Pay Teachers is a great resource to go to even kind of help you figure out what would they be teaching in this grade or that grade. Look up language arts and find stuff for 2nd grade. Another great resource is Super Teacher Worksheets, which is where we do our spelling lists from. But they also have reading comprehension for each grade, where it has a reading story and then questions after that to see how their reading comprehension is. I used to assign one of those per day to my kids, and it really helped their reading comprehension. So I recommend that as a source as well. If you need something to keep your littler kids busy while you're working with your older kids, my favorite learning app for younger kids is Khan Academy Kids. It's an app, it's free, it's wonderful. Wonderful. If you need help teaching a math subject, so you get in here and you're learning double-digit multiplication, you can find YouTube videos on that. You also can do Khan Academy, the one not for kids, and they have free math videos as well, and free math, basically, curriculum online. Houghton, Mifflin, Harcourt also has curriculums for all the subjects that you can buy. Oh, and one more curriculum I need to throw in there that we used when our oldest was in kinder. We used McRuffy. You can Google that, McRuffy. They have curriculums for all different ages. And then if you live in Texas and you're just like, well, I just want to make sure I'm covering everything that they need to know in their grade, what you need to search for are Texas TEKS. And when you search for the TEKS, you'll be able to find language arts and then search for your child's grade, and then you can print that out. I have done that before to make sure I'm kind of touching on the things they're going to learn for that grade. You can look for math, social studies, science, PE. They have what they need to learn for each grade in each of those subjects. There's that. I think that's it for curriculum. That's what we do. Hope y'all enjoy. That's it.